All right, welcome back to episode 7 of Steins Gate. Where we last left off, we basically thought over about the experiment and what happened with the time travel. We're getting our main man Daru to hack into CERN. We also had an interesting encounter with Suzuha, whatever her name is. And basically she has knowledge on the IBN 5100, and it seems like she's looking for it along with Shining Finger or Mocha. So that's interesting, and it seems like we might finally have access to talking to John Teeter. So if you're interested and like videos like this and want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. I also have a Discord so you can keep up to date with what I'm doing next, and I like to flash the Hatsune Miku throughout the video, and maybe to add a little more incentive, whoever comments first, I'll either answer their question or read the top comment or whatever, just to make it a little more exciting. But with that being said, let's jump right into it. 20 hours have passed since Daru started hacking. Night gives way to a refreshing summer morning. I glance at Daru while browsing the at channel on my phone. He's fidgeting even more. Now his legs are like pistons. His knees move up and down in harmony with the rat-a-tat-tat of his keyboard. Daru hasn't slept in about 40 hours, but he still won't get off his computer. I mean, I'd be doing all I can to finish hacking so I don't get in trouble. You know, it'd be super stressful. I was going to ask him if he'd like to take a break, but his entire body's exuding an aura that says, "Don't talk to me." I curl up a bit and return to my phone. My discussion with John Teeter is just not making sense. Not even Teeter himself seems to know about the Teeter from 10 years ago. It's hard to imagine that everyone on that channel is conspiring against me. But how else can I explain it? Out of options, I decide to email Teeter directly, just as he told me to. He audaciously exposed his own address on that channel. I guess that's his way of saying, bring it on. John Teeter. In my email, I questioned the differences between his post now and his post 10 years ago. The current Teeter hasn't even acknowledged the latter. I only vaguely remember them, but they are basically went like this. In 2015, World War III breaks out. Many people die. By 2036, the world is a nuclear wasteland. In 2036, the world is contaminated from nuclear warfare. John Teeter travels to 1975 to obtain IBN 5100. The IBN 5100 was necessary to revive technology lost in World War III. The IBN 5100 has a hidden function, the ability to read IBN's proprietary computer language, which predates APL and BASIC. But only certain IBN engineers are aware of that function, so it does not appear in the manual. In 1998, Teeter meets his younger self and his parents in America. John Teeter was a soldier who volunteered for that mission. John Teeter is American. USA. Furthermore, in 2000, Teeter correctly predicted the outcomes of some future events. The Peruvian coast earthquake in 2001, the election of a new pope, the outbreak of the Iraq War, China's advance into space, and so forth. Though he only talked vaguely about each one, they all came true. I mean, those are some pretty big swings and hits. On the other hand, other predictions went unfulfilled. For example, the Y2K bug, Civil War in America, the cancellation of the Beijing Olympics, the inauguration of America's first female president in 2009, and so forth. Interesting. There's more, but let's leave those aside for now. The year 2000 problem, okay, popularly known as the Y2K bug or simply Y2K, a term referring to when, at the turn of the 21st century, there was a concern over the possibility of widespread computer failure when the year 2000 began. In order to save memory space, old operating systems almost have always abbreviated years to the final 2 digits. Hence, when 1999 changed to 2000, the last 2 digits would change from 99 to 0. However, if it programming didn't anticipate that change, the computer could erroneously assume that the year was 1900. Because of this, it was rumored that the computers in the military, financial, and government sectors might malfunction and cause worldwide catastrophe. To address this issue, countermeasures were taken in the mid-1990s to manually update every program. As a result of these countermeasures, the year 2000 problem was averted. It was a huge deal. Also, everyone just thought the world was going to end in 2000. That's why they were going to party like it's 1999. Because on New Year's, everyone was like, yep, nice knowing ya. Not that I would know. I wasn't alive then. I was born in 2001, so I'm going to ask him why those predictions didn't come true. That's a horrible subject, but okay. Okay, also most of your predictions from back then didn't come true. If you're from the future, then why didn't your predictions come true? I'd appreciate a satisfactory explanation. Alright, let's send it. If he can't answer to my satisfaction, then the current Teeter is an imposter. This is your litmus test, John Teeter. Heh. So what are your true colors? Get out of my head! It's really like that Akira scene. My brain just... You heard it so much back then, and now to put a face to the noise is kind of crazy. Also, different angle for the room, sweet. Mayuri comes in. Looks like she's forgiven us for experimenting on her food, and she's back to her usual smiley self.
2人が2日連続徹夜って聞いたからね。差し入れ買ってきたよ。
Well, how'd you hear that?
そうか。それはご苦労。
Though to be accurate, it wasn't 2 nights in a row. I took an afternoon nap yesterday. Mayuri starts fishing through her convenience store bag. And then she takes out...
じゃーん！おでん缶！
A canned meal sold in vending machines started in the 1990s. Each can contains a hot broth with various Odin ingredients, such as boiled egg, radish, konjac, beef, and tofu. An Akihabara specialty. Okay. The canned Odin is still warm when she gives it to me. How sweet. What a sweet girl. I open the lid right away and eat the beef. Mayuri and I have been together for a long time, so she knows what I like. And when it comes to canned Odin, beef is where it's at.
マユシーからのプレゼントだよ。1個270円もするんだから大事に食べてね。
Ooh.
最近バナナや唐揚げは食べ飽きていたところだが、今後もこの差し入れで頼む。
さすがにしょっちゅうおごれるほどマユシーのポケットマネーは多くないのです。あとバナナや唐揚げはマユシーが大好きだから今後も続けます。
I mean, bananas and fried chicken? That doesn't sound like a bad combo. It sounds great. I consider saying you'll get fat if you only eat frozen foods, but that threat's not very effective against Mayuri, so I hold my tongue. Her high metabolism prevents her from getting fat, no matter how much she eats.
あとね、他にもあるよ。はい、じゃーん。
Next, she produces a small box with Rainet illustration.
ライネットソーセージ。おまけでウーパのボトルキャップがついてくるんだ。すごく欲しかったから買っちゃった。
She sticks out her tongue with a shy giggle. Something tells me that in a few months' time, this lab will be neck deep in Upa goods. Again, if it was Uma, I'd understand. There are only a few things right now, like the cushion on the sofa, but that number is sure to grow exponentially.
で、ダルくんはどう？
苦戦中だ。少しぐらい休んでもらった方がいいんだがな。何もぶっ通しで何とかしろとは一言も言ってないんだから。
ダルくんのスーパーハッカー魂がメラメラバーニングしちゃったんだね。
そこ、ハッカーって言わないように。
Oh, looks like his trance is broken. An empty Diet Cola bottle comes whistling through the air. Jeez Louise, my man. Ooh. Okay. This is Amane Suzuha. First email, thanks for exchanging addresses with me yesterday. I finally made a friend here, yay. Don't worry, I won't email you too much, and I might be slow to reply too. Kinda new at this email thing, it's okay to laugh at me. That wasn't an exchange. You took my address by force. I had no choice but to submit. Where were you living before? Oh. Haven't used cell phones much? I think it's important to know where she was living before. It hits my head with a nice thunk.
ピリピリしてる。
He's like a drunk dad. Mayuri and I evacuate to a corner of the lounge and quietly eat the oden.
でもハッキングって悪いことなんだよね。マユシーはね、二人にそういうことしてほしくないな。
It's where science.
ダルのスーパーハッカーじゃなくてハッカーとしての腕前使わなければ宝の持ち腐れだ。
Incidentally, it looks like the hackers hijacked CERN's system back in 2008. We found news articles about it online. That means even the inventors of the World Wide Web have holes in their security. With his skills, Daru should have no trouble getting through.
それにこれはセルンの悪事を暴くため世界を陰で支配する巨大な闇との戦いなのだよ。
This is how to stop evil, all according to the Steins Gate.
悪いことは悪いことだよ。
True, though. That's unusual. Mayuri usually just accepts whatever I say. Well, I admit we are doing a bad thing. But there's no way we can stop now. I need to change the subject. How about that fried chicken?
さつま揚げをやるから牛すじをくれないか。
それならうずら卵がいいな。
I say that's a great trait.
俺は牛すじの次にうずら卵が好きなのだ。
Sweet potatoes rock.
でもうずら卵好きだもん。
ちくわで手を打ってくれ。
わかったよ。さつま揚げよりはちくわだもんね。
Interesting. With that said, I skewer the chikawa and put it in Mayuri's can, and I get her beef in return. Subject change complete. Mayuri really eats up conversation about food. So easy to manipulate her. Muahaha.
もうすぐなんだよ。SQL のテーブル一覧さえ手に入れればパスワード特定余裕なんだよ。うへへへへ。僕をなめんな。
Daru has started talking to himself. Looks like things are falling into place. Kakeguri. Daru really is a super hacker. I think this is the first time I've seen him serious. Daru bends himself forward, staring holes into the screen. But all I see on the screen is the same string of numbers and letters.
おほ、来た来た来た。いいよいいよ。ほら観念して俺の前に全部晒しやがれっつうの。すっぱだかにされてる気分はどうだよ。ひゃっは。
His eyes are bloodshot and he started rambling. Maybe the lack of sleep is getting to him. Daru opens up a new window, types in a 12-character string and slams the enter key. An error sound rings. He quickly deletes that string and enters in a new one. He keeps repeating that sequence until finally... he hacked in!
来た来た。ID とパス一致。ひょっほ。ログイン完了だゴラ。死ねえなめんな。イエスイエスイエス。
What enthusiasm.
誰やったのか。
He got the first step anyway. The smug man turns around with an expression of immense satisfaction. As if he's gone into le petit mort. A condition of mental and physical release unique to male physiology, characterized by feeling a supreme calm and composure. Entering this state is almost like becoming an empty shell, also known as sage time, hyper sage time, or saint time in Japanese, and post-nut clarity in English.
ミッションコンプリート。
Cool.
本当か。
わあ、すごいね。よくわかんないけど。
After 20 hours of agony, it's finally over. To show Daru my appreciation, I toss him an opened udon can. Odon can.
仕事の後のおでん缶って最高すぎだろう。
よくやった。やはりお前は世界最高のスーパーハッカー。
I mean, to hack and discern, truly amazing.
ハッカーな。
Put respect on his name.
お前が敵でなくてよかった。それで世界滅亡計画の証拠は見つかったか？
いや、まだ見てねっつーの。繋がっただけ。ここまで来ればあとは楽だけどな。
ならば疲れているところ悪いが早速調べてくれ。きっとあるはずなのだ、陰謀の影が。
Crazy to actually be able to do it.
はいはい、やりますよ。でもその前におでん缶食わせろ。
The organization is after us now. After a short meal break, Daru taps on his keyboard more nimbly than before. He's rejuvenated.
手に入れたパスがセルンの誰のものなのかってのが問題なんだよな。
どういうこと？
Well, because I guess it would show their clearance, huh?
セルンのデータベースに入ってデータのテーブル一覧をゲットしたんよ。そっから11111111とか ABCDEFGH みたいな簡単なパスワード使ってる関係者に的を絞って ID 手に入れたわけ。
Okay, he got an
ID
ID.
の持ち主がサーバー管理者だったら最高なんだけど、さすがにそこまで運は良くないと思われ。
日本語で OK だよ。
右に同じく。
よ
I understand.
セルンのサーバー管理者のパスだったならセルンの全身を舐め回すように弛緩しまくりだけど、そうじゃない普通の研究員か何かならおっぱいしか見せてもらえない的な。
You know what? That's pretty plain English to me.
ダルク、エッチだね。
エロい例えをするな。つまり見られる情報が限定されてしまうということだろう。
そういうこと。
Well, unless he puts in a virus or something like that, but I don't think he's that advanced.
サーバー管理者を特定してパスをゲットするのも時間の問題だけど、それはまた今度にするわ。さすがに眠くてあんま頭が働かん。
It would be cruel to push Daru any further. It's unfortunate, but overworking him isn't an option. Let's let him rest so he can regain his energy.
お、どうやら手に入れた ID は加速器部門担当者のものらしいよ。
Ooh,
サーバー管理者じゃないのか。
but it's like a lieutenant, right?
一発で当てるなんて奇跡でも起きない限り無理だっつうの。セルに何人の関係者がいると思ってるんだぜ。
Probably like a couple thousand.
何
？6000人以上。
It's over 9,000. That would have been perfect. That many?
とりあえずこの加速器部門担当者の名前は
John
さん
Theater.
のメール
Darn.
をちょろっと覗かせてもらおうよ。
And of course, the emails come up in English.
うわわ、まゆしは頭が痛くなってきました。
It's pathetic to flinch at the mere sight of English.
誰よ、何と書いてあるのだ。
翻訳しないと。
Fair enough.
エキサイト先生にご登場願え。
Dr. Excite.
そんなめんどいことしてらんねえっつの。
A machine translation site. Daru boots up translation software and auto-translates the open page. Poor unnatural Japanese shows up. The first line says Happy New Year.
新年の挨拶みたいっすな。バカンスでスペイン行くとか羨ま。
That email's normal, nothing out of the ordinary.
こういうログを漁っていけばそのうちサーバー管理者も特定できるのだぜ。
あのね、他人のメールを勝手に見るのってすごくごめんなさいって気持ちになる。
You know what? Then you can go sit in the room over there and eat your chicken. Yep. Mayuri gets depressed and moves away from the computer. She sits on the sofa and hugs her giant upa cushion with a sigh. I know we're doing something socially unacceptable, however.
俺はとっくに悪の道に踏み込んだ身。何の良心の呵責も感じないのだ。責任は全てこの俺が取る。ダルやマユリに罪をかぶせるつもりはない。
You know what? That's a good leader.
うほ、僕オカリンになら掘られてもいい。
それはお断りだ。というわけでダルよ、心置きなく覗き見るのだ。
No, he's got to rest first, right?
オカリンって悪いんだ。マユシーは悲しいです。
That's of no concern to me. You just sit there and pretend your hands are clean. Accomplice. Upon further examination, we discovered several emails with the title Experiment Report. In English, naturally. Looks like he sends emails like these almost every day.
LHC の実験レポートか。タイムマシンのヒントが得られるかもしれん。開いてみるべきだろう。
You know what? Hacking into CERN was not something I expected when originally playing this visual novel.
これ見たら確実にヤバそうだけどな。
That's what his lips say, but his hand still clicks on the email. What comes up is an unintelligible series of symbols.
これ暗号化されてる。
さすがに簡単にはいかないか。
この程度の暗号を解くのはへでもないがな。
Nice, super hacker. He's a genius, no doubt. Daru undoes the security in less than 10 minutes. The real-time sync and deciphering the darn machine translation. Oh, okay.
意訳すると、はいポール。
そういう演技は無用だ。
サイですか。今日付の実験データをサーバーにアップしておいた。LHC の調子は良好だ。あくまで LHC はだが、こいつはまるで猫みたいに気まぐれだが、ここ1ヶ月ほどは驚くほど素直だ。ずっとこの調子だといいんだがな。しかし報われない仕事だと思わないか。この子猫、大猫と言うべきか。はははははが稼働して9年になるが。
So it's already been operating for 9 years.
この人類史を
In 2000.
は一部の人間の目にしか入らないわけで、もっとも公表されたらされたでいい晒し者になるのがオチだろうがな。世の中の連中はきっとこう言うだろうさ。今すぐロバート・ゼメキフをセルンに呼んでください。そうすれば1年と経たないうちに作ってもらえるだろうってな。
Hmm.
9年
Daru finishes reading. I rub my temples with my thumbs. Calm down, let's sort things out.
今のメール、翻訳ミスということはないのか。
Did Daru notice something unnatural too? He's not joking like he usually does.
翻訳ソフトを信じるならミスはないんじゃね。ところどころへんてこな日本語になってるのは確かだけど。
だとしたら妙なことになる。LHC が稼働を開始したのは去年の春ぐらいだったはずだ。
Oh, so it's been going on even longer than expected.
読み取れる。
Which means they're 9 years ahead of schedule.
おかしいな。
The email sends date is the year 2000, so 9 years ago makes it 2001. John Teeter posted this on our channel yesterday. Maybe he's an inside man. The only other thing I can say is that you must not believe their lies. They have already succeeded at creating micro black holes. I gulp. Gulp. If you read between the lines of this email, it sounds like they're doing some sort of secret experiment. Also, Robert Zimcliffe is a super famous Hollywood movie director. He directed a trilogy of smash hit time travel movies about 20 years ago. I groan. No way, was I right? CERN's hiding a major secret from the world, and it's related to time travel?
ダル、もっと調べてくれ。タイムマシン研究の痕跡を探すんだ。
Sorry if you hear my dog in the background. Okay, sounds like he quieted down.
マジでか。
I don't know if Daru is questioning my order or the possibility that CERN might be researching time travel. Either way, he begins tapping on the keyboard again.
どのメールにもタイムマシンって単語は出てこないけど、Z プログラムって単語がこの数ヶ月で100箇所以上も使われてる。これ今 LHC を使ってやってる実験のことじゃね？
その具体的な内容はブラックホールの生成実験か。
どっかに資料は、見つけた。
Oh. Daru opens a PDF attachment.
ほほう、なんかこれフランスとイギリスとオランダのトップシークレット扱いっぽい。
国家最高機密。
セルンは国家機関じゃないはずなのに、なんでだろう。つうか国家機密ってさすがにまずいんじゃね？
構わん。詳細を調べろ。
いやいや、バレたらただじゃ済まんし。
お前はハッキングで足がつくような無能なのか？
そうならないようにはしてる。
だったらな。
Then there's nothing to worry about. Well, thanks. Daru makes a slightly awkward face as he takes the file about the Z program and feeds it into the translation software.
5月14日、第137次 Z プログラム実験レポート。なお、ミニブラックホール生成ミッションはすでに確立しているため、報告は省く。第1に。
So it's legit. John Teeter's legit. All of a sudden, Teeter's predictions became a reality.
やはりセルンは LHC を使ったミニブラックホール生成に成功していたのだ。
公式には実験はまだ成功してないって発表されてるのにな。
Because they discovered time travel early, and I mean, why would you release that to the world? This is what Teeter was referring to when he posted, "Don't believe in what they say."
そもそも実験の目的は新しい素粒子反応を起こすことであってミニブラックホール生成じゃないし。
Well, they made a new reaction. Daru doesn't take his wide eyes off the monitor.
だが実際にはすでにミニブラックホールは生成されている
みたいだな。
その先には何と書いてある？
実験結果エラーヒューマンイズデッドミスマッチ詳細は別紙ゼリーマンズレポートナンバー14を参照。
Jellyman.
リフターの調整および各局所は適合地点をオンラインとして確定できない限り実験は停止するべきと提案する。
どういう意味だ？
ヒューマンイズデッドって人が死んだって意味じゃね？
Human is dead. Somebody died? Seriously? I groan. This isn't a joke anymore. Something very serious is going on here. Maybe we really are in too deep. And what if we are? I'm not afraid. I'm not. After all, I am the insane mad scientist, Hohoin Kyuma. We can't stop now. I can't control my curiosity. Besides, now that I have proof of their evil deeds, ignoring them would just leave a bad taste in my mouth. My throat's gone dry. I swallow my saliva. In an attempt to keep whatever composure I can, I scold myself for being so faint of heart.
ゼリーマンズレポートというのは何だ？
Daru starts typing once I ask my question, but he soon clicks his tongue.
ジャックさんのメールには見当たらないな。誰かもっと偉い人かサーバー管理者のパスを手に入れないと。
ではそれは後回しだ。タイムマシンについて探してくれ。
さすがに出てこないんじゃね？
After that, Daru spends about 15 minutes fishing through the Accelerator Division Chief's emails, but he doesn't find anything about time machines.
加速器技術委員会とか LHC 計画責任者とかって単語が出てきたから、その辺の ID を見当つけて探すかな。そっちからならもっと突っ込んだ情報が手に入るかもしれんわな。
We just gotta keep jumping and jumping.
調べられないのか。
Daru shakes his head.
では今日のところはこれまでか。
Give my man some rest.
ちなみにさ、今見てたのがセルンの一番でかいサーバーなんだけど、実はもう一個妙なデータベースがあったんだよね。
Oh?
ようというと
バグってた。
バグ？
いやバグっつうか、一応プログラムのコードらしきものは出てくるんだけど、
The old IBN 5100
めちゃ
code.
くちゃっつうか、全くもって解読不能です、本当にありがとうございましたっつうか。
暗号化されている可能性は？
あれは暗号には見えないのだぜ。そもそもプログラムとして成立してないんだよね。ただそんな誰にも見られないようなデータベースがなんで置いてあんのかは気になる。
So, somehow they have an IBN 5100. They discovered the mini black holes. They've been operating for 9 years longer than anyone expected. So what John Teeter says is true. He's gone back in time, but he's already too late because CERN has already done what it needs to do. So now we need to wait for that email that comes through.
気になるな。
ちょっと解析してみるを。
Daru tries every trick in the book to crack that mysterious database, but after about an hour, the piston he has for his fingers begins speeding up. Eventually, he just slams the keyboard out of frustration.
ああ、わからん。全然わからん。こんなん絶対プログラムじゃねえよ、ボケ。死ねカスが。ウェッケー。
Sounds like a monkey. Oh great, he snapped.
もうやめた方がいいよ。
Mayuri puts down her sewing tools and turns to Daru with a worried look on her face.
頭もよく回らんし、もう無理。ふへふへへ。
This is bad. Daru's breaking down. Maybe I'm pushing him too far. He's been up for 2 days straight. He's probably at his limit.
ご苦労だった。もう休め、ダル。
うん、そうするわ。つうかさ、もしこれがバグじゃなくてガチでプログラムだとしても、作ったやつにしかわからんよ。こんなん見たことないし。
Yeah, it has to be that 5100 code. A program unlike anything he's seen, At the moment, music burst from my pocket. I've got mail. Ugh. John Dieter. Are you being honest? If everything you wrote is true, then we have a lot to talk about, particularly concerning the IBN 5100 hidden function, which I have not mentioned to anybody yet. I am indeed surprised that you know about it. However, I have not gone to this year, 2000, though it is possible I may go there later. There are 3 possible explanations. First, the John Teeter who appeared in 2000 is my future self. In other words, I go to 2000 later and write about things that you have told me, but that would cause a chicken and an egg paradox, wouldn't it? Second, you're delusional or making things up. For the sake of serious discussion, let's see this possibility aside. Let's set. Third, you may have seen something I wrote on a different world line. That would mean that 10 years ago you existed on a different world line than the one we're on now. However, that raises another issue. When the world line changes, the entire timeline is reconstructed from past to future in order to prevent a paradox from occurring. That was proven in 2036. In other words, it should have been impossible for you to retain memories of previous world line, unless you too are a time traveler. That is, do you have any idea what the cause could be? Wow. I gulp. A flash runs through my head like an electric shock. There's quite a bit of text, but what catches my eye is the first several lines.
そうか。今 点が線でつながろうとしているぞ。
何の話？
Mayuri looks at me curiously, but I don't have time to answer her. I'm frantically assembling the pieces in my mind.
ジョン・タイター、セル、タイムマシン。
These things are all connected. I love how when we discover something, we just say the three things that are related, or whatever's related, of like jelly, bananas, microwave, of course. And now I have another piece of the puzzle. I shiver at my own brilliance.
ダルよ、もしかするとそのプログラムの正体判明するかもしれんぞ。
Oh, we woke him up.
マジでどうやって？
IBN 5100. I aim my phone's camera at the screen displaying the supposedly bugged data and take a picture. I attach it to a message. Does this code look familiar? And send it to Teeter. A mysterious database inside CERN, a program unlike anything super hacker Daru has ever seen. Its true form is...
俺のひらめきが正しければ、ジョン・タイターが知っている。
はあ？それはないわ。
なんとでも言うがいい。答えはすぐに出る。
We wait for Teeter's reply. Though it's only been a few minutes, it feels like an eternity to me. Come on.
来た。
John Teeter. Where did you find that? That's written in a proprietary IBN programming language used prior to 1975. You can only decipher it with an IBN 5100. I quickly open the mail. And its and its contents are enough to raise goosebumps on my entire body.
やはりな。
やはりって？
ダルよ、俺の予想は正しかった。判明したぞ。そのプログラムの正体が。
IBN 5100。
So, but then the question is, why is Suzuha and Shiny Finger looking for it? Why are they looking for the IBN 5100? Do they have bits of code connected? Do they... I mean, this is really... It's all centering around this computer so far. We have, I would say, the most pieces and the most knowledge. Now we just need to find a computer. But that still doesn't explain how come they know this? Are they in the same boat we are? Are they accidental time travelers? Very, very interesting. That retro PC has certain special functions. In fact, for more than 25 years after it went to market in 1975, nobody knew of it save a few IBN engineers. The function was first brought to light by John Teeter, who appeared in 2000. A while after Teeter posted about it, an actual IBN engineer admitted to the hidden function's existence. Which reminds me, I talked to Suzuha about this only yesterday.
APL や BASIC が普及する前に書かれた IBN の独自のプログラミング言語も解読できちゃうのってさ、驚愕だと思わない？今や IBN5100 でしか解読できない失われたプログラミング言語があったりするんだよ。
And how would she know that? What an incredible coincidence. A prime example of synchronicity at work. That's where randomly events sync up. A concept advocated by Swiss psychologist Carl Jung, 1875-1961. A meaningful coincidence, simultaneity, simultaneity, the feeling that two casual, unrelated events have a meaningful, deterministic relationship. For example, a vase fell and shattered, and at the same time, my grandmother died in the hospital. Or I was gossiping about this person and they called me right after. Or countless other similar stories. Synchronicity is such an incredible common phenomenon that nearly everyone has felt it at some point in their lives, no matter where they are in the world. I'm trying to think of common examples that I would experience, and it's definitely, oh, I'm talking about someone, or immediately call, or I look at my phone thinking I'm gonna get a message from somebody, I set it down, and then that person immediately sends a message. Or Maybe I watch a piece of media. Again, this can't be a coincidence. I started Steins Gate 14 years later, no talk about it, and then I think a week later or a couple days later, it was announced Steins Gate remaster after 15 years. I mean, how convenient is that, you know? It's almost like an almighty will is pulling the strings.
いいな、断じていいなだ。我らにとってこの発見はまさに必然。これこそがシュタインズゲートの選択だということだ。
つまりセルンは IBN5100 を使ってこのデータベースを構築したって？互換性のないマシンを使って？なんでそんなわけわからんことを？
The organization.
ならば聞くが、外部からのクラッキングに対する最高のセキュリティ方法は何だ？
Computer terminology used to decipher actions such as illegally accessing network systems, tampering with data, etc. It is often confused with hacking, but the word hacking originally means the construction study of software. Cracking, however, refers to malicious, unauthorized activity, so whenever the term hacking is used by the media, this is typically what they're referring to.
そりゃスタンドアローンだろ。
A term referring to a computer that is not connected to any other computer or network. Daru quickly catches on to the intent of my question.
IBN5100 でしか解読できないなら、それは疑似的なスタンドアローンってわけか。
故に、そこに眠るのはセルンにとって最重要の機密だということだ。
つか、オーカリンはなんでその隠された機能のこと知ってるん？ソースは？
俺の頭の中に眠る膨大なインデックスに記述されているとでも言っておこう。
Teeter said it himself 10 years ago, but Daru wouldn't believe me even if I told him the truth.
パクリ設定オツ。
I ignored Daru's retort.
マユリ、大事な話があるから集まれ。
ここからでも聞こえるよ。
Mayuri's sewing, she doesn't get off the sofa.
聞こえるとか聞こえないとかの問題ではないのだ。
We must be quiet for the window.
これは我ら未来ガジェット研究所にとって、いや人類の未来にとって運命を左右する会議なのだよ。だからもっとこう秘密めいた感じというか企んでいる感じを出したい。
It's important that we stare closely at the monitor and exchange dramatic lines. The atmosphere right now is too light. It's all Mayuri's fault.
マユシーは悪巧みには参加しません。
Well, I can't have everything my way.
二人とも聞け。これより未来ガジェット研究所は緊急極秘作戦を発動させる。これは世界を影から操る巨大な闇との戦いの第一歩となるだろう。敵はセルン、世界的な研究機関でありながら邪悪な研究に見られた連中である。
オカリン、声でけえ。徹夜明けにはきついっす。
Darn, I guess I am being too loud. That kind of ruins the whole secret feeling. And the window's open too. Suzuha is down below. I'm sure she can hear everything. So I turned it down a notch.
いいか、世界にマッドサイエンティストは2人いらん。奴らに先んじられる前に我らが出し抜いてやるのだ。
奴らって？
奴らは奴らだ。
The organization.
あのね、マユシーは全然わかんないよ。
つまりこの秋葉のどこかにあるという幻のレトロ PC IBN5100 を手に入れる。
I make a magnificent decoration, but Daru just rubs his eyes and Mayuri returns to her needlework. Darn, is there anything you guys react to? We've uncovered a massive conspiracy here. How come you aren't excited?
僕探すのはパス。マジで寝させてよ。それとセルンの中をもっと探りたい件について。
You know what, that's fair.
そうだったな。まあそれができるのはダルだけなのだからそっちは任せる。では IBN5100 の捜索は俺とマユリで。
無理だよ。
She has work. We have to go alone, or we have to recruit somebody else. Mayuri makes an apologetic face.
コス作りもあるし、バイトもあるもん。
So basically, you two are telling me this. I'm the only one with free time.
いいだろう。この件は俺が何とかする。そうと決まった以上、俺のやり方に口出しは無用だ。分かったな。
また何か悪いことしようとしてる？
いや、口だけじゃね。
Ooh. I leave my useless comrades behind and stride gallantly out the lab. I step onto the street. Immediately, a bicycle skids to stop in front of me.
はーい、岡部倫太郎。
Suzuha gets off her bicycle and gives me a strange greeting. I want to ask her, are you an American or something? But I'm distracted by her shiny bicycle. It's the same bicycle that was in front of the Brontube workshop yesterday. I guess it belongs to her. I wonder how much that set her back. I mean, it does look pretty expensive.
なかなかのテクだな。
自転車ってほんと楽しいよね。私、自転車乗るのってこの町に来てからが初めてでさ。
Well, where did she come from?
初めて自転車に？
そう、バイクはよく乗ってたんだけどね。
Ah. Isn't that backward? Weird girl. And what's with that flashy braking back there? I think I'd be pretty dangerous if she did that all through the town. Beginners get cocky and get into accidents. You see the pattern all the time. If you're gonna go full speed, at least wear a helmet.
今からバイトか？
うん、さあ。
The Brontube workshop shutters are open, but the shop itself never opens until around 11 or 12. I don't know exactly when. It seems to change with Mr. Braun's mood.
ちょうどよかった。お前に話がある。
Oh?
これから開店準備しなきゃいけないんだよね。
このオンボロブラウン管屋に何を準備することがある？
ないね、まったく。店の前をチョロチョロっと掃き掃除するぐらい。中は掃除しようとすると店長が怒るし、これが完璧な配置なんだよって。
So he's paying her to not clean? Something's wrong with that guy.
ならば話をさせてもらおう。
でもな、眠いしな。
In other words, she doesn't feel like talking. I glare at her.
あまり俺を怒らせない方がいい。
今すぐじゃないとダメな感じ？
My glare is not very effective. She doesn't falter at all. But I still maintain my stern expression and nod. IBN 5100. Suzuha shrugs her shoulders as she locks her bicycle. Then she turns to me.
ただし、手短に頼むよ。
IBN5100 はどこにある？
不明。
Ferris. Don't tell me you plan to face them head on, but that will turn Akiba into a sea of blood, yeah. Restrain yourself, Kiyoma. Ho ho.
不明？何？
不明。
Oh.
昨日のお前の口ぶりは知っているように見えた。
知ってるのは私の知り合いだってば。
Someone who knows.
その知り合いのところへ案内してもらおう。嫌だとは言わせん。拒否すればお前はこの世の地獄を見ることになる。
無理。
Come on, I even said I'll show you a living hell.
会いたくても会えないからさ。
They're dead.
どういう意味だ？まさか想像上の存在か。
死んだから。何年も前に。
すまなかった。
いいのいいの。まあ
Maybe her dad or something?
私の持ってる情報そんなに大したことないわけ。むしろ私の方が教えてもらいたいぐらいだよ。
Susaha pats me on the shoulder. Funny, you'd think I'm the one who's supposed to cheer her up. Just then, Mr. Braun opens the door and makes his appearance.
おいバイト、まだ3日目なのに遅刻してんじゃねえ。
Ooh.
ああ店長、ごめん、ちょっと朝から立て込んでてさ。
真面目にやらねえならいつでもクビにするからな。岡部もうちのバイトに手つけようとしてんじゃねえぞ。
欲情しているのはあなたではないのか、ミスター・ブラウン。
Mr. Braun.
もしナエがいる前でそういうこと言ってみろ。マジで殺すからな。父親としての沽券に関わる。
True.
そもそもそんなしょんべんくせえガキに欲情なんかするかよ。
Oof.
何を？店長、今の取り消して。
Susaha's actually mad now.
怒ったのか。
私はガキじゃない。一人前の戦士だよ。
あ？お前何言ってんだ？
What are you doing? Susaha is burning passion as the manager shocked. I, on the other hand, am impressed. On impulse, I take Susaha's hand and grasp it firmly.
いい目をしているな、バイト戦士。現代人にはない野獣さながらのギラギラした輝きがある。その目を忘れるな。そうすればお前は必ずやバイト戦士から真の戦士へとクラスチェンジできるだろう。
っていうか、私はもう戦士なんだってば。
セルンとのラグナロックの暁には共に戦おうではないか。それまで精進するがいい。
That's the end of the world in Norse mythology. Yep, in Norse mythology, the final war of the gods, also known as the Twilight of the Gods, Ragnarok.
ラグナロック？
Ragnarok. Susaha looks confused.
何それ？
セルンとの最終決戦だ。
そんなの起きる予定があんの？あるならぜひ参加するけど、聞いたことないな。
当たり前だ。今初めて明かしたのだからな。ラグナロックは俺が起こす。世界を作り変えるためにだ。
And then meanwhile, Mr. Braun is just like watching this go on.
おお、岡部倫太郎ってば勇ましいじゃん。どうせ失敗するだろうけど、その心意気は好きだよ。私の仲間も君ぐらい気概があればよかったんだけどな。
Comrades? Apparently, Susaha has comrades. I'd like her to introduce me. That way I can form my personal army, the Phoenix Crusaders. Wait a sec. Why does she assume I'll fail at Ragnarok? Looks like I need to instill the fear of Hoyen Kyuma in this girl.
なんでうちの店の周りには変なやつばっか集まってくんだよ、ったく。アルバイト、いいからさっさと店に入れ。
じゃあね、岡部倫太郎。
Susaha waves and winks at me as she heads inside the store. Uh-oh.
待って待って。
Well, well, well. Then Mayuri comes down the stairs, passing Susaha.
やはり一緒に探す気になったか。いいラボメン精神だ。
違うよ。お昼ご飯を買ってこようかと思って。
だ
She really is a glutton. It's not even lunchtime yet.
でどこで買うつもりだ？
どうしようかな。
Mayuri places her finger on the bottom of her lip as she walks.
サンボの牛丼もいいな。
Beef bowl. This tiny high school girl truly has guts to enter Sanbo alone. That place isn't like the chain restaurants with their colorful menus and brightly lit interiors. First-timers are often cowed by the old school atmosphere. Plus, the clientele is almost exclusively male, but Mayuri doesn't care. She just sits there, shoulder to shoulder with students and businessmen, smiling as she eats her beef bowl. Meanwhile, the Sambaist, regular Samba customers, are posting comments online like, "The goddess has arrived," or "Goddess for the win." Must be some good beef bowl. I try to warn her, but Mayuri is no longer there. She's gone. Mayuri disappears like this every so often. And each time she does, I wonder for one terrible second if she really has vanished from this world. I look around and see Mayuri standing at a distance. She's gazing up at the sky through the buildings. Here we go again. She stopped in the middle of the street, so other pedestrians look at her wondering what she's doing. But she doesn't notice their stares. She slowly reaches out to the sky as if entranced. And then she freezes in that position. This is one of Mayuri's habits. I call it Stardust Handshake. Mayuri says that she's liked looking at the night sky ever since she was little. Her reason is romantic or perhaps childish.
星に届かないかなって思って。
When I asked her about it one day, she just smiled and gave me that answer. At first, she only reached out to the night sky, but lately she's been doing it without regard to the time of day. Like now, even when she's walking and talking with someone, something inside her just seems to switch on. Honestly, it's a little crazy.
星なんて見えないだろ。
I walk up to Mayuri and call out to her. She slowly lowers her hand with a blank smile on her face.
あのね、お昼でもお星様はそこにあるんだよ。
True.
哲学的なことを言うのは結構だが、道のど真ん中で立ち止まるのは危ないだろうが。
そうだね。そうそう、今空を見てて思ったんだけどね。マユシーは今日のお昼はラーメンにします。
Man. How are ramen and stars even related? Mayuri's mind works in mysterious ways. I know I said I'd search for the IBN 5100, but I have no idea where to start. I spent about an hour at an internet cafe searching for information but turned up nothing. I buy some mango juice with tapioca from a juice stand inside Yadobashi. I lose myself in thought as I drink it. It's Saturday, so it's starting to get crowded in front of the station. Some maids are distributing leaflets to the people coming out. I know Daru's well acquainted with retro PCs, but is there anyone else? Oh yeah, Shining Figure was obsessed with the IBN 5100, wasn't she? I'm really reluctant to contact that male demon though. But ultimately, my feelings are trivial. Ragnarok hangs in the balance. But I decide not to bother. I finish my drink and wander toward Chudori. Then comes an email almost on cue. You got mail. Shining Finger. Will you get back to me already? It's like she can read my mind. I instinctively scan the area searching for that gloomy woman in the crowd. No sign of her tailing me. Oh well, I guess I'll send her a reply. I don't know Shining Finger's phone number, so I'll just send her an email for the time being. In the email, I ask her to call and include my phone number. Now I just have to wait for her response. And with that, I know, how horrible, how horrible. We are calling it there for episode 7 of Steins Gate. Again, chapter 2 so far is really heating up. I'm really enjoying it. Again, lots of questions though. I really wonder what's the connection? Why do people know about this computer? And why is it so important to these couple of people? So hopefully that will be figured out soon or within this chapter. I don't know how much, but you know, that is cool. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. Check out the Discord. Comment down below what you like, what you didn't like. Just comment anything, as it really does help. Let me know what visual novels I should play in the future, or maybe you just want me to stick to manga or maybe even live streaming. But I feel like live streaming a visual novel wouldn't be nearly as entertaining. But it's basically the same thing, just lots of reading, and then I guess the story would take 20 times longer. But again, thank you for watching. I've been Boog the Goob. May God bless you, and peace.